Okay, so I'm just going to go through my 2.5D car rig in Moho 12. This is how I sort of turned a flat two-dimensional painting of a car on one layer and was able to make it sort of turn and drive sort of down a curved road. So let's just have a look at the original artwork. This is the original painting. It's just on one layer. I've just copied this out of the other file that I have, and I cleaned it all up a little bit. But essentially that's it. It's just one layer. And I needed it to drive down this road, so just to show you, as it drives along, it looks okay here, but as it drives along the road it starts to sort of look odd, and you need it to turn so it can go down this road and sort of go along to the distance. So to come up with a solution, I rigged this car up with some pin bones and some smart meshes. So I'll just show you how these work. Just go ahead in the timeline. So as I move each bone, it's going to warp the car in different ways. And the rig is a little bit has its problems, as you'll see. But for my purposes, for what I needed it to do, I was able to work around those quite easily. So I'm just going to turn the mirror off. Okay, so as I move this bone, this is going to control this whole corner of the car. So as I move this corner of the car will move. This is a control for this corner, and so on. So that's the far left corner and the far right, or the front right corner. Okay, we'll just move those. Get rid of those. Okay, so to do this, what I needed to do was essentially break the original layer down into, I made 6 layers. So it's essentially a box. And what we have is, I'll just turn these off. So that's, the side of the car in one layer. We have the tyres as a separate layer, just so that they could move separately, and I could animate them separately for things like the car bumping if I wanted to do that, and also so that I can animate them slightly differently and have them inset a little bit from the body of the car. We've got the back door, roof, and that's the hood. Which is a bit odd. I think that could be improved. And this is the inside wall, so you can sort of see the far tail there, and then that's all the same layer from the inside of the car. Okay, bring those back. Let's just have a look at the meshes. So we've got this mesh for the wall of the car that's closest to us. We've got a mesh for the tyres. We've got a mesh for the back of the car. And this mesh goes for the inside wall, that far wall. And we've got a mesh for the roof, and I've also got a mesh for the hood. So that goes the length of the car, just so that when this turns in space, it turns at the same rate, and is sort of, I think it turns at the same rate as the rest of the car, essentially, anyway. Okay, so let's just have a look how this is rigged to the bones. I'll just go back to 0 and let's have a look. So the near side, it's really important, what I found, it's really important to have this mesh going the length of the car, rather than going, say, bottom to top, or top to bottom, like that, because, as you'll see, let's go fit to screen, let's have a look at this. So this is with the mesh going up and down, and you can see the mesh here and here is pulling the layer out in strange ways, so we want to avoid that. And to avoid that, it's best just to make the mesh go the length of that layer. So I did the same thing with the far side. I did the same thing with the roof. The back, it goes across, okay, rather than up and down. Again, it's all going to turn on that axis, so it all needs sort of to have meshes going that way. And these are rigged. If we have a look at how these are rigged, the front edge, all these points are going to be connected to our front corner here on the right of the car. The back edge, all the points are connected to this back corner. And if you look at the back, this right hand corner at the back is also connected to that bone. The left hand is connected to this purple bone here. If you look at the far wall, this back edge of that mesh is connected to the purple bone, and the front is connected to the blue. So as I showed earlier, when we move these, the corners move together, and you can sort of get a bit of up and down as well. Things start to break apart. You can probably, again, this can probably be improved so that we avoid things breaking apart. But for my purposes, it works all right. So one last thing, try this bigger, and as you can see, it curves as it goes down the road, and that's it. I'll put time codes in the description on my YouTube video so you can jump to the relevant points, and I hope that's helpful. Thanks.